Hello everyone, this is Vachaspathi, a second year IT student, a James Gosling member from CVR College of Engineering, and I am here to tell about the versions of Android, and this is part 3. Last time, in the last video, I ended up with ice cream sandwich, so I'm gonna continue with Jelly Bean. So Jelly Bean was released on July 9, 2012, and you can see the symbol here. Let's go into the features. And Android 4.1 is optimized to deliver Android's best performance and lowest touch latency in an effortless, intuitive UI. To ensure a consistent frame rate, Android 4.1 extends VSync timing across all drawing and animation done by the Android framework. Android 4.1 also adds triple buffering in the graphics pipeline for more consistent rendering that makes everything feel smoother from the scrolling to pages and animation. Tooling can help you get the absolute best performance out of your apps. Android 4.1 is redesigned to work with a new tool called Systrace, which collects data directly from the Linux kernel to produce an overall picture of system activities. And new APIs for accessibility services let you handle gestures and manage accessibility focus as the user moves through the on-screen elements and navigation buttons using accessibility gestures, accessories, and other input. The TalkBack system and Explore by Touch are redesigned to use accessibility focus for easier use and offer a complete set of APIs for developers. Bidirectional text and other language support. Android 4.1 helps you to reach more users through support for bidirectional text in text view and edit text elements. Apps can display text or handle text editing in left to right or right to left scripts. Apps can make use of new Arabic and Hebrew locals and associated fonts. The platform now supports user installable keyboard maps such as for additional international keyboard and special layout types. By default, Android 4.1 includes 27 international key maps for keyboards including work. When users connect a keyboard, they can go to the settings app and one or more key maps that they want to use for that keyboard. You can create an app to publish additional key maps to the system. Notifications have long been a popular feature on Android. Developers can use them to place important or time-based information in front of users in the notification bar outside of the app's normal UI. Android 4.1 brings a major update to the Android notifications framework. Apps can now display larger, richer notifications to the users that can be expanded and collapsed with a pinch or swipe. Notifications support new types of contents including photos, have configurable priority, and can even include multiple accounts. Through an improved notification builder, apps can create notifications that use a larger area up to 256 dp in height. Three templated notification styles are available: big text style, big inbox style, big picture style. Android 4.1 introduces improved app widgets that can automatically resize based on where the user drops them on the home screen, the size to which the user expands them, and the amount of room available on the home screen. New app widgets APIs let you take advantage of this to optimize your app widget content as the size of widgets changes. Android 4.1 makes it easy for you to manage the up navigation that's available to users from inside of your apps and helps ensure a consistent experience for users. You can use a new helper class activities options to create and control the animation display when you launch your activities. New system UI flags in view let you cleanly transition from a normal application UI to lights out mode or full screen mode. Developers can now use grid layout and view stub views in home screen widgets and notifications. Android 4.1 makes it easy for users to find and install live wallpapers from apps that include them. With Android 4.1, you can store contact photos that are as large as 720 into 720, making contacts even richer and more personal. Apps can register to be notified when a new input devices are attached by USB, Bluetooth, or any other connection type. They can use this information to change state or capabilities as needed. Android 4.1 includes APIs that let apps and games take full advantage of all input devices that are connected and available. Among other capabilities, apps can now make use of any vibrator service associated with an attached input device, such as for Rumble Pack controllers. Extending VSync across the Android framework leads to a more consistent framework and smooth, steady UI, so that apps also benefit. Android 4.1 extends VSync timing to all drawing and animation initiated by apps. This lets them optimize operations on the UI thread and provides a stable time base for synchronization. The animation framework now lets you define start and end actions to take when running view property animator animations to help synchronize them with other animations or actions in the applications. The action can run any runnable object. For example, the runnable might specify another animation to the start when the previous one finishes. Android Beam is a popular NFC-based technology that lets users instantly share just by touching two NFC-enabled phones together. In Android 4.1, Android Beam makes it easier to share images, videos, or other payloads by leveraging Bluetooth for the data transfer. Android 4.1 introduced support for multicast DNS-based service discovery, which lets applications find and connect to services offered by peer devices over Wi-Fi networks, including mobile devices, printers, cameras, media players, and others. Developers can take advantage of Wi-Fi network service discovery to build cross-platform or multiplayer games and application experiences. Ice Cream Sandwich introduced support for Wi-Fi peer-to-peer technology that lets apps discover and pair directly over a high bandwidth peer-to-peer connection. Android 4.1 takes Wi-Fi P2P further, adding API support for pre-associated service discovery. Pre-associated service discovery lets your apps get more useful information from nearby devices about the services they support before they attempt to connect. Apps can initiate discovery for a specific service and filter the list of discovered devices to those that actually support the target service or application. Android 4.1 provides a low-level access to platform hardware and software codecs. Apps can query the system discovery that low-level media codecs are available on devices and use them in the ways they need. USB audio output support allows hardware vendors to build hardware such as audio docks that interface with Android devices. Android now lets you trigger audio recording based on the completion of an audio playback track. Android 4.1 extends render script computation to give you more flexibility. You can now sample textures in your render script, compute scripts, and new pragmas are available to define the floating point precision required by your scripts. In Android 4.1, the Android browser and web views includes better HTML5 video user experience, including touch to play or pause and smooth transition from inline to full screen mode, improved rendering speed, and reduced memory usage for better scrolling and zooming performance, improved text input. Starting with Android 4.1, Google Play will help protect application assets by encrypting all paid apps with a device-specific key before they are delivered and stored on a device. Smart App Updates is a new feature of Google Play that introduces a better way of delivering app updates to devices. Google Play Services helps developers to integrate Google services such as authentication and Google Plus into their apps delivered through Google Play. So let's go into another version of Android, and it's KitKat 4.4, and it was released on October 31st, 2013. Let's go into the features. Android 4.4 is designed to run fast, smooth, and responsively on a much broader range of devices than ever before, including on millions of entry-level devices around the world that have as little as a 512 MB RAM. Android 4.4 introduces a new platform support for secure NFC-based transactions through host card emulation for payments, loyalty programs, card access, transit passes, and other custom services. With HCE, any app on an Android device can emulate an NFC smart card, letting users tap to initiate transactions with an app of their choice. No provisioned secure element in the device is needed. Android apps can now print any type of content over Wi-Fi or cloud-hosted services such as Google Cloud Print. In print-enabled apps, users can discover available printers, change paper sizes, choose specific pages to print, and print almost any kind of document, image, or file. Printer manufacturers can use new APIs to develop their own printer services, pluggable components that add vendor-specific logic and services for communicating with specific type of printers. A new storage access framework makes it simple for user to browse and open documents, images, and other files across all of their preferred document storage providers. A standard, easy-to-use UI lets users browse files and access reasons in a consistent way across apps and providers. If you build a document provider for a cloud or local service, you can deliver it to users as part of your existing Android app. If you develop a client app that manages files or documents, you can integrate with storage access framework. Android 4.4 introduces platform support for hardware sensor batching, a new optimization that can dramatically reduce power consumed by ongoing sensor activities. With sensor batching, Android works with the device hardware to collect and deliver sensor events efficiently in batches rather than individually as they are detected. This lets the device's application processor remain in a low power idle state until batches are delivered. Android 4.4 also adds a platform support for two new composite sensors, step detector and step counter, that let your app track steps when the user is walking, running, or climbing stairs. These new sensors are implemented in hardware for low power consumption. If you develop a messaging app that uses SMS or MMS, you can now use a shared SMS provider and a new APIs to manage your app's message storage and retrieval. The new SMS provider and apps define a standardized interaction model for all apps that handle SMS or MMS messages. Now your apps can use every pixel on the device screen to showcase your content and capture touch events. Android 4.4 adds a new full-screen immersive mode that lets you create full-bleed UIs reaching from edge to edge on phones and tablets, hiding all system UI such as the status bar and navigation bar. It's ideal for rich visual content such as photos, videos, maps, books, and games. In the new mode, the system UI stays hidden even while users are interacting with your app or game. You can capture touch events from anywhere across the screen, even areas that would otherwise be occupied by the system bars. Most apps structure their flows around several key UI states that expose different actions. Many apps also use animation to help users understand their progress through those states and action available to each. To make it easier to create high quality animations in your app, Android 4.4 introduced a new transitions framework. The transitions framework lets you define scenes, typically view hierarchies and transitions, which describe how to animate or transform the scenes when the user enters or exits them. To get the most impact out of your content, you can now use new window styles and themes to request translucent system UI, including both the status bar and navigation bar. Notification listener services can now see more information about incoming notification that were constructed using the notification builder APIs. Android 4.1 includes a completely new implementation of WebView that's based on Chromium. The new Chromium WebView gives you the latest in standards support, performance, and capability to build and display your web-based content. In addition, the new Chromium WebView supports remote debugging Chrome Dev tools. Now it's easy to record high quality video of your app directly from your Android device. Android 4.4 adds support for screen recording and provides a screen recording utility that lets you start and stop recording on a device that connected to your Android SDK environment over USB. It's a great new way to create walkthroughs and tutorials for your app, testing materials, marketing videos, and more. Android 4.4 brings formal support for adaptive playback into the Android Media Framework. Adaptive playback is an optional feature of video decoders for MPEG- and other formats that enables seamless change in resolution during playback. Apps can now use new monitoring tools in the visualizer effect to get updates on the peak and RMS levels of any currently playing audio on the device. Media playback applications can increase the loudness of spoken content by using the new loudness enhancer effect, which acts as a compressor with time constants that are specifically turned for speech. When your apps use render script, they'll benefit from ongoing performance tuning the render script runtime itself without the need for recompilation. Android 4.4 supports for 2 new Bluetooth profiles to let apps support a broader range of low profile and media interactions. Bluetooth HID over GATT gives apps a low latency link with low power peripheral devices such as mice, joysticks, and keyboards. Bluetooth MAP lets your app exchange messages with a nearby device. Android 4.4 introduces a platform support for built-in IR blasters along with a new API system service that let you create apps to take advantage of them. Android 4.4 introduces a seamless way to stream media and other data faster between devices already on the same Wi-Fi network by supporting Wi-Fi turned direct link setup. Android 4.4 now supports a better accessibility experience across the apps by adding system-wide preferences for closed captions. Apps that use video can now access the user's captioning settings and adjust presentation to meet the user's preferences. In addition, apps that use video view can use a new API to pass a captioning stream along with a video stream for rendering. All apps that show captions should make sure to check the user's system-wide captioning preferences and render captions as closely as possible to those preferences. If your app is targeting users who use RTL scripts, which is right to left, you can use a new API to declare that a drawable should be auto mirror when the user's local setting includes an RTL language. To make it easier to test and debug layout mirroring issues without switching to an RTL language, Android includes a new developer option to force RTL layout direction in all apps. Android 4.4 updates its SC Linux configuration from permissive to enforcing. This means potential policy violations within a SC Linux domain that has an enforcing policy will be blocked. Android has improved its security further by adding support for 2 more cryptographic algorithms. Elliptic curve digital signature algorithm support has been added to the key store provider, improving security of digital signaling. A new tool called Procstats help you analyze the memory resources your app uses as well as the resources used by other apps and services running on them. Procstats keeps track of how apps are running over time, providing data about their execution during and memory use to help determine how efficiently they are performing. This is most important for apps that start services that run in the background, since it lets you monitor how long they are running and how much RAM they are using while doing so. The Android 4.4 includes a new developer option to make it easier to analyze your app's memory profile while it's running on any device or emulator. The process stats option shows you a variety of high-level metrics on your app's memory use based on data collected using the new ProStats service. On the main screen, you can see a summary of system memory status. So let's go into the new version, which is Lollipop, released on November 3, 2014. So you can see the symbol here, and let's continue with the features. Android 5.0 brings material design to Android and gives you an expanded UI toolkit for integrating the new design pattern easily in your apps. New 3D views lets you set a Z level to raise elements of the view hierarchy and cast real-time shadows even as they move. Built-in activity transitions take the user seamlessly from one state to another with beautiful animated motion. Android 5.0 provides a faster, smoother, and powerful performance computing experience. Android now runs exclusively on the new ART runtime built from the ground up to support a mix of ahead of time, just in time, and interpreted code. It supports on ARM x86 and MIPS architectures and is fully 64-bit compatible. Android 5.0 introduces platform support for 64-bit architectures used by the Nexus 9 NVIDIA Tegra K1. Notifications in Android 5.0 are more visible, accessible, and configurable. The varying notification details may appear on the lock screen if desired by the user. Key notification alerts such as incoming calls appear in a heads-up notification, a small floating window that appears the user to respond or dismiss without leaving the current app. You can now add new metadata to notifications to collect associated context, category, and priority. Android TV provides a complete TV platform for your app's big screen experience. Android TV is centered around a simplified home screen experience that allows users to discover content easily with personalized recommendations and voice search. With Android TV, you can now create big, bold experience for your app or game content and support interactions with game controllers and other input devices. Android 5.0 introduces a redesigned overview space that's more versatile and useful for multitasking. Android 5.0 adds a new APIs that allow apps to perform concurrent operations with Bluetooth Low Energy, allowing both scanning and advertising. New multi-networking features allow apps to query available networks for available features such as whether they are Wi-Fi, cellular metered, or provide certain network features. NFC APIs now allows apps to register an NFC application ID dynamically. Android 5.0 also introduces Android Extension Pack, a set of OpenGL ES extensions that give access to features like tessellation shaders, geometry shaders, ASTC texture compression, per sample interpolation and shading, and other advanced rendering captures. Support for Cronus OpenGL ES 3.1 now provides games and other apps in the high performance 2D and 3D graphics capabilities on supported devices. A new audio capture design offers low latency audio input. The new design includes a fast capture thread that never blocks except during a read, fast track capture clients at native sample rate. Multi-channel audio stream mixing allows professional audio apps to mix up to 8 channels including 5.1 and 7.1 channels. Apps have finer grain control over text-to-speech synthesis through voice profiles that are associated with specific locals, quality, and latency rating. Android now includes a support for standard USB audio peripherals, allowing users to connect USB headsets, speakers, microphones, or other high-performance digital peripherals. Android 5.0 introduces all new camera APIs that let you capture raw formats such as YUV and Bare RAW and control parameters such as exposure time, ISO security, and frame duration on a per frame basis. Apps sending video streams over the network can now take advantage of H.265 high efficiency video recording for optimized encoding and decoding of video. Android 5.0 also adds support for multimedia tunneling to provide the best experience for ultra high definition 4K content and the ability to play compressed audio and video together. To enable bring your own device for enterprise environments, a new managed provisioning process creates a secure workplace on the device. In the launcher, apps are shown with a work badge to indicate that the app and its data are administrated inside of the work profile by an IT administrator. Android 5.0 lets you add screen capturing and screen sharing capabilities to your app. With your user permission, you can capture non-secure video from the display and deliver it over the network if you choose. In Android 5.0, a new tilt detector sensor helps improve activity recognition on support devices, and heat rate sensor reports the heart rate of the person touching the devices. The initial release for Android 5.0 includes a version of the Chromium for web view based on the Chromium M37 release, adding support for web audio and WebGL. New accessibility APIs can retrieve detailed information about the properties of windows on the screen that sighted users can interact with and define standard or customized input actions for UI elements. New job scheduling APIs allow you optimize battery life by differing jobs for the system to run at a later time or under specified conditions, such as when the device is charging or connected to Wi-Fi. So guys, I end up the video here, and I will catch up you with the next part, and that's the last part. And thank you for watching this, and I thank my seniors for supporting me.